Hey everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Triple P, where we explore people, places, and palettes. For this episode, I'm in the beautiful port town of Genova in Italy, in the region of Liguria. And I'm going to be showing you guys 10 things that you can't miss out on when you're visiting. Let's go! Let's start off our day by having breakfast the authentic Genoese way. This might come as a little surprise to you, but here the locals don't have bread and butter, scrambled eggs or cereal, but instead they love themselves a nice golden fresh focaccia dipped in cappuccino. Yep, you heard me right. The saltiness of the focaccia is neutralized by the bitterness and creaminess of the cappuccino. Did you also know that the focaccia's origins are right here in Genoa? It seems that the word focaccia comes from the Latin word focus, which means fireplace, as it was traditionally cooked in a wood-fired oven and in the 16th century became especially popular here. What if I told you that up next you can enjoy a fabulous balcony suspended over the historic center with a 360 view over the city and port? Sounds pretty good, huh? Now in the city, there are plenty of funiculars to hop on, but in this case, we'll be taking the Art Nouveau lift up from the Piazza del Portello to the Spianata Castelletto, named for a small castle that once stood on this hilltop. It is now also known as the Belvedere Montaldo, and gives you a bird's eye view over the city and coastline that is really quite impressive. A perfect place to unwind, relax, and enjoy the beauty of the city. If you're feeling extra energetic, you always have the option of walking up as well instead of taking the funicular. Now, if you've already started thinking about what you're going to do for lunch, then let me jump in here and give you a great suggestion. Il Genovese, an authentic restaurant recommended even by Fodor's Travel, especially as it serves some of the best pesto in all of Liguria. And guess what? By the man who runs the annual Pesto World Championship. Now, you may not know this, but Genoa is also the birthplace of pesto, so this is why you can't miss it. Specifically, go for the dish called Trofie al Pesto, a short rolled pasta that can be found in Liguria, particularly in and around Genoa, and it's almost always the pasta of choice for pesto. It will blow you away. After lunch, why not take a nice long walk along the Corso Italia? It is the main promenade of Genoa of around 2.5 kilometers, connecting the neighborhood of Face and the fishing town of Boccadasse. It seems before the urbanization of the eastern neighborhoods of Genoa, only narrow roads and paths crossed the hills and the cliffs where today Corso Italia runs. The promenade was built after the First World War as a result of the ambitious development plan of the whole neighborhood of Albaro, approved in 1914. It is a favorite place in the city for strolling and jogging, and is especially popular for its private beaches, restaurants, bars, swimming pools, and sports facilities. Upon arriving at Boccadasse, the first thought that entered my head was that it was a lovely postcard picturesque village. It is centered around a quaint inlet with brilliant views of the Gulf of Genoa. The Pebble Beach was quite small and fairly busy, but all in all the vibe was great. People enjoying ice cream, sipping on drinks, at the bars dotted around, and just enjoying the sun on their faces and breeze in their hair. It's the perfect place to spend the day. If you're not keen on walking the Corso Italia but prefer reaching there faster, then you have the option of taking the bus or even train, both taking only around 25 minutes each one way. For those of you who are familiar already with my channel, you would know that I'm a big fan of markets, as it really gives you a good sense of the local cuisine and way of life too. I was told that the Mercato Orientale, the Oriental Market, would be a good place to check out, especially as they also have a huge food court dedicated to showcasing delicious cuisines, both international and local. It is almost 2,000 square meters in the heart of the city, basically a cultural center/social hub that is inspired by the major European markets like La Boqueria in Barcelona, the Markthalle in Rotterdam, or the Oostermans in Stockholm. Exploring the Carruggi district is an absolute must when you're in the city. There's a reason it was included in the world list of the most beautiful sites by UNESCO World Heritage. Basically the soul of the old Genoa, made up of dozens of small, narrow winding streets. Some are so narrow that you can practically shake hands with someone in the building across the street. Walking through here is like taking a walk back in time, transporting you back to life from the 13th century, when a group of families that had found their fortune in the maritime trade built high walls and an internal arsenal to protect the city. No wonder Genoa is deemed as one of the most interesting medieval cities in all of Europe. While walking the streets, I stumbled upon the Galleria Imperiale, which immediately intrigued me, especially the beautiful frescoes on the ceilings. It is a unique art gallery which sells antique art and furniture from between the 17th to the 20th century and is found on the ground floor of the 16th century Imperial Palace of Campeto. Elegant turn-of-the-century paintings are displayed side by side with more contemporary masterpieces. Wooden chests of drawers with intricate etchings and paintings, roll-top desks, glass-fronted cabinets, plush carpets, beautifully painted icons, silver hairbrushes, and so much more. For antique lovers, this is a place not to miss. Something you may not know is that Genoa is home to over 150 palaces. 42 of these palaces became UNESCO World Heritage Sites in 2006, and although most are privately owned, several of these glorious works of art are open to the public year-round. Head over to Via Garibaldi, one of the most beautiful streets in the city, and find the bookstore/museum shop where you can buy tickets for the Musei di Strada Nuova to enter the three 16th century palaces, Rosso, Bianco, and Tursi. The route basically begins with 15th to 20th century paintings in the Palazzo Rosso, followed by art produced in Genoa and Liguria by Spanish, Flemish, and Italian artists from the 15th century onwards in the Palazzo Bianco, and concludes in the Palazzo Tursi with Antonio Canova's Penitent Magdalene and the ceramic, numismatic, and Paganini collections. All in all, takes around 2 to 3 hours of time, but is highly recommended. Last but not least, make your way to the Gothic Romanesque San Lorenzo Cathedral, which is famous for its almost 2 bell towers, a catchy facade, Gothic portals, and stunning marble decorations. It seems that the horizontal white and black marble stripes that the cathedral still features nowadays are a characteristic symbol of nobility often used in the Middle Age architecture. Another really fun fact is that on February 9th, 1941, the British Navy had launched a bomb that broke through the walls of the cathedral but fell unexploded. The malfunction of the bomb basically preserved centuries of history as it dates back to the 11th century. This event is known as the St. Lawrence Miracle, and guess what? It is still possible to see the bomb that was left in the church. Alright folks, that takes us to the end of the video. If you did enjoy, do subscribe for more travel inspiration and hit the bell icon to stay notified of new videos coming up. Also, if you're interested in connecting via Instagram to ask me questions or chat about your upcoming travels, here's my account handle. See you on the next one.